Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Words of Wellness. Again, my name is Yassir Al-Manawi. I'm a clinical therapist and we are going to be talking today about a very important issue, family issue. What is a family issue? The very important family issue, which is child rearing. Again, we're going to talk about it from a psychological point of view, from a spiritual point of view. Let's see. First, let's talk about spiritual point of view. There is a hadith on Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that stated, for you children, in raising children or rearing children, it says, love them for 7, teach them for 7, and be their friend for 7. We're just going to take those 3 sevens until the age of what? 7 and 7 is 14 and 7 is 21. Until the age of 21. Let's see. Love them for 7. Why didn't we say teach them for 7 first? You see, this is the words of wisdom of the hadith and of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. What we need to realize is that for the first 7 years, the child brain is not capable of processing information. What does that mean, is not capable of processing information? It actually, there is a component in the brain that it's not developed yet, and it does not develop until the age of 7. So at the first 7 years, what am I instructed to do? I'm instructed to love my kids, meaning that I play with them, I love them, I give them affection, I give them understanding. I give them all the love they need. What does that mean? Somebody might tell me, well, what? I don't need to give them any instruction? I didn't say that. I said they concentrate on the play, on the love, on the affection. That's what they need at the first 7 years, because it's crucial. The first 7 years are what is going to map their lives afterwards. The first 7 years is what the unconscious is ruling for the rest of their lives. Let's take a look at the following 7 years, which is from 7 to 14. The Prophet ﷺ said what? Teach them for 7. Look, what's interesting is that we found out finally that the learning takes place from the age of 7. Not before that, but after that. And anybody who has children, he will realize that, or she will realize that the child before the age of 7, if you tell them not to do something, guess what? They're going to do it. Don't touch this, they touch it. Don't do that, they do it. They are not capable of following directions very cleverly or correctly. The following 7 years, from 7 to 14, that's when they are able to process information. That's when they are able to follow directions. Okay? When we talk about the 7 years in psychology, it's called the imprint stage. I mentioned something about the unconscious. The imprint stage is actually, it's like an open, clear page. Whatever you do, whatever you say, it gets stuck with them for the rest of their lives. The following 7 years, it's called what? Imitation, which is learning. They imitate and they learn. Okay? What you need to do in this, that's when you give them the most of your directions, the most of your teachings. And you start seeing, you will see the difference in their behavior. You will see the difference in their understanding. Let's take a look at the final 7 years, which is 14 to 21. 14 to 21 is also very important. And that's when you have a lot of problems with kids or teenagers at that age. And a lot of parents come to us actually and they say, well, I have a lot of problems with my kid. I don't know what's going on. And right away I tell them, well, the problem didn't start now. This is just, it's been there for a long time. And then ironically enough, what I found out is that they didn't give them, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do when the kids were younger. They didn't do what they were supposed to do during the second 7 years. So the last 7 years, they actually have a lot of problems. During the last 7 years, what you see is a lot of peer pressures and kids who start doing what other kids want to do. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ said what? Be their friend for 7, which is the last 7, from 14 to 21. What does that mean, be their friend? Be their friend meaning that you have to still with love and affection and understanding. It's not beating. It's not giving just directions. No, it's becoming their friend. Why? So if you are their friend, you will be able to affect them in a positive way, as opposed to a negative friend outside having the major effect on them. So just imagine if you are able to become their friend. That's why parenting is not only a one-way street. It's a give-and-take relationship from the very beginning to the very end. What happens at the age of 15 and 16 is what I do with my kids at the age of 7, is a result of what I did with them at the age of 4 and 5 and 6. That's what happens. So what I need to do as a parent is that I need to check myself. As a parent, I need to change with my kids. They take different forms. The relationship takes different forms. And I need to form myself with it. I need to be able to maneuver with it. I need to be able to move from one point to another point. I need to be able to move from what? Giving orders to a child who's age 7 or 8 or 9 to having a discussion with a child or a son who is 15 and 16 and 17. So that's a lot of differences. So not only the children have to get accustomed to these differences, but also the parents have to be aware of that. The parents have to be aware of the changes in their children. And don't forget that we always talk about, well, I want my son to be independent, I want my son and my daughter to be successful, I want them to do this and I want them to do that. So guess what? When they come at a certain age and they tell me, no, I have my own opinion, I'm sorry, I think you're wrong, what happens to the parents at this point? They get upset, they get angry. That's a normal reaction. But you know, this is what we raise our children to be, independent. And the first sign of independence is that they're going to have their own opinion. They're going to have their own opinion with who? With us, the closest people to them. They're going to have their own opinion with the parents. They're going to have their own opinion with their mother. And that's what a lot of people say, it's defiance. It's not actually defiance. And that's why on the next episode, we are going to continue talking about parenting. We are going to continue talking about child rearing because of the importance of it and because I think we need to understand it a little bit more. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode.